Hi guys, so if you don't follow me on Snapchat or Instagram or whatever, then you probably don't know what is going on right now, but there is a lot of stuff going on in my life right now, and I just want to explain everything. Not too personal, but just so you get the idea of what's going on with me personally right now. Just like a disclaimer, this video is not for attention. This is not to feel sorry for me. This is just to explain my life because everyone is confused, including myself actually. So I just want to kind of clear things up because there's a lot of people getting the wrong idea about me and what has been happening, and I'm just getting a lot of hate for it, and I just want to address like what is actually happening with me right now. So this video is not for attention in any sort of way. I'm just kind of explaining because it needs to be explained. Also, I am sick, so that's why I sound like really stuffy, but it's fine. So basically, when I was younger, about 11 or 12, around that age, my parents had gotten a divorce, and during this time it was very, very difficult for many reasons. If your parents are divorced, you know that's like a hard thing to go through, especially at a younger age. So that was kind of what got everything started, and it's nothing my parents did, it's just like that sort of situation is difficult to like deal with at a young age. So like there's nothing like wrong with what my parents did, but that was the start of my depression. And depression is a very serious thing, whether or not you believe in it, because I know some people don't believe in mental illnesses, but I have depression and it is a very, very bad case of it. I've had a lot of bad things happen to me because of my depression and what it causes me to do, and it is a real thing, and that's when I was diagnosed with it. And that's not anyone's fault, that's my own. I did that to myself, and it's just how I learned to deal with things and how everything went down. That's what got me to that position. So, you know, I was going through teen stuff, the typical teen stuff, like girl drama, boy drama, all that stuff when I was at a little bit of a younger age. And then my mom and I wanted to move to Michigan because my dad was gone. He wasn't in the picture anymore, and it was just my mom and I. We wanted to move to Michigan, and everything was set in stone. We were looking at houses. I got a tour of a school, a high school that I was going to go to, and everything was like set. And keep in mind that Michigan isn't all that close to me. It's not completely far away, but it's about 3 hours from where I live right now, and I have lived here all of my life. So we had gotten a house, and my mom's job was accepted, and my mom came to me and she was like, it's up to you. It's up to you whether or not you want to leave. And I wanted to go, but something told me that I shouldn't. So I stayed. I said no, and that was a very, very hard decision for me because I was put under so much pressure, and that's not anyone's fault, but I was put under so much pressure that I had to decide what to do with myself, whether or not I wanted to leave where I've always been, what I've known for years. I decided not to go, and then I had met Tyler, and you probably know Tyler. He was in my last videos. He's on my Instagram, my Snapchat a lot. I met him, and he was always supportive of me. He did anything he could to make me happy, and I always told him everything, and I didn't know why I told him everything, because I was never like that. I never opened up to people. I was too afraid to open up to people because of experiences in the past, and I never opened up to people. But when I met him, I told him everything about my life, about me, about my struggles, about what I've been through. We started dating, and we dated for about 1.5 years, and during this time my dad had gotten sick, and he has really slow speech. he can't walk well. It's a case of Parkinson's disease, and he's losing a lot of weight, and he's just been really sick for a while, and he's going through tests constantly, and that put even more pressure on me. And it's not his fault, it's not anyone's fault. Nothing in this is anyone's fault but my own. It just put so much stress on me that I didn't know how to deal with it, and I blamed everyone else. I blamed anyone that I could, even though it was no one's fault. And during this time, my emotions just went down so bad. When I met Tyler, I was very, very happy. I was a happy girl. I tried to ignore all of my problems because I was with Tyler and he made me happy. And after my dad started getting sick, my emotions just went down so bad. It just went all downhill. And it wasn't just like a teen mood, because like I know the difference between my teen moods and my like moodiness of my teenager self and what I was going through and what I felt, and that was not the same thing. Lost motivation. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to hang out with friends. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to talk to my family. I didn't want to be around anyone. And that is also when I started gaining weight. I gained about 30 pounds over this short period of time, and it made me feel bad about myself. I didn't go anywhere. I cried all the time. I cried constantly. It was just a constant state of depression, and I did not know how to get out of it. This lasted for a little while, and then I began to have anxiety. My mother has anxiety, and I probably like inherited it from her in a little way, but it's not her fault again. But I began to have really severe anxiety. That started about a year and a half ago, and at first when I got anxiety, it wasn't horrible. I was shaky, I would cry, but like it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't the worst I've been. And then there was one night where my mom had left to go out of town with her boyfriend, and I had so much anxiety and I didn't know why. It was my first real anxiety attack where I just felt like nothing could make me happy. It's really hard to explain, and I'm gonna make a whole different video on anxiety, but it hurts so bad. All your emotions are insane. Like there's things attacking you inside your head. There's nothing really there. You feel dizzy, you can't breathe, and like it was like I blinked and I was on the floor and I was crying and I was gasping for air and I couldn't move. And Tyler had came and he had to call my mom, who was out of town, and she had to calm me down, but that lasted about 45 minutes of just constant anxiety and thoughts in my head that weren't telling me anything positive about myself. After that attack, it started happening a lot more. I would get anxiety attacks about once a week for no reason. Nothing really triggered them. I would just start getting emotional, and then I would break down and I couldn't breathe, and I would stop breathing, and everything was just a mess. It was so crazy. And one of my bad habits when I had my anxiety attacks was holding my breath. And I don't know why I would do this. It's better now than it used to be. But whenever I got an anxiety attack, I would hold my breath, because for just that little bit, I would feel like it all went away and that everything was going to be fine if I just stopped breathing. And it happened a lot more than it should have. But, and I would hold my breath for minutes at a time until someone had to tell me to breathe. Someone would literally have to force me to breathe. And that was just like, I was not okay, and everything was going downhill, and I didn't know how to take care of myself. And then I was in track my freshman and sophomore year, and everything was fine my freshman year. I still had my anxiety, but I could still run track. And then my sophomore year, one of my very first practices, I had to do a workout, and I was used to it. I normally did those fine, and I had to stop because I couldn't breathe. My heart was hurting, and like nothing was going right. I couldn't speak well. So this happened a couple of times, and at first I was like, I'm fine, there's nothing wrong with me. And I went to the chiropractor for my back because I have scoliosis. And when I was there, he told me, or he didn't tell me, he told my mom that my heart looked like it was too big, which didn't make any sense to anyone at the time. So we went to the doctor about it, and I had a lot of tests done, which I hate. It gives me anxiety to have needles or anything medical touching me or close to me or surrounding me in any sort of way. So I went through an EKG. I had to wear a heart monitor for about 3 days. Couldn't take it off, couldn't shower in it. It made me feel different. It made me feel like there was something wrong with me and that I didn't deserve to be in the same location as all these normal people, because they didn't have to get stared at while you walked around with wires coming out of your chest and your shirt. And it just made me feel so bad about myself, even though there's nothing I could do about it. And another reason I was scared because of it was because my family has a bad heart history, meaning that in the past people in my family would have heart attacks and they would die from them. And we were afraid that I was getting early symptoms of this and that I wouldn't live much longer. But none of that was true. My heart is fine. But that was just another scary moment in my life that really had impacted me. But then for a few months I was okay. I still had my depression. Depression doesn't go away, but I felt better as a person. I didn't feel like everything was after me all the time, and I didn't have anxiety all the time, because when I was at the doctor for my heart and they figured out that nothing was wrong with my heart, they realized that a lot of my pain had come from my anxiety, which says a lot, because it's not often that anxiety leads to literal pain in your heart. So I had to go through a lot of brain testing. They asked me all sorts of questions like suicidal thoughts, depression questions, which we already knew I had depression. And a lot of the questions that were asked I answered honestly. I had suicidal thoughts. I had tried to kill myself before. I had a lot of bad thoughts in my mind, and then during that time they decided to put me on medication for my anxiety, which made me feel even more different, because I always ask myself, like, why can't you be normal? Why can't you be like everyone else? Why can't you just live? Why do you have to have all these thoughts in your head? Why can't you get out of your own mind? And it made me feel so bad about myself, and then it went downhill again. During this time, I began to get angry. I was very mean to people. I was very mean to my family. I said things that I should never say. I was just a very different, mean person because of my own mind and my own thoughts, and it's not me at all. It's just like a different person inside of me that just says things to other people. Everything that was said to me, it felt like an attack, even if it meant nothing, and even if no one was trying to hurt me, I took it as an attack, and I went off on people all the time. It was so bad, and I hurt people because of it, and it hurt me that I hurt other people because of my head. This had led to issues with my mom. This had led to issues with my whole family and all of my friends, because no one knew how to help me, because I wouldn't let anyone help me. I lost a lot of relationships, like friendships and close family relationships, because of this time in my life, and it hurt so much that I knew it was all my fault, and there was nothing anyone could do to make me feel better, because every time they would try, I would hurt them. And that was a really, really painful part of my whole process of my anxiety and my depression, that I hurt other people. I hate more than anything to hurt other people. And I've been doing a lot of that recently, and I don't know why. It's just a really hard thing for me, and I know these people don't deserve it. Even when I was alone, Tyler had loved me through it all, and I hated it because I grew up very independent after my dad had left, and attached to him. Not like I would die without him, but I got very, very attached. I didn't want to do anything by myself because I was afraid of myself, and I still am, and it is something that I am working on, and it's just a very, very difficult thing. And then Tyler had moved to college, which was very, very difficult for me, but it's what he needed, and I wasn't gonna make him stay for me because that would be stupid. That'd be so stupid. So I have 2 years still left in high school, and he has obviously he's going to be 3.5 hours away where I was going to move to in college. And it's not the only reason, but it is one of the reasons that I had started YouTube. It felt like a distraction to me. That's not the only reason, but it felt like a distraction to me because I could do things that I loved doing and share them with other people, even if I got hate for it, because I do, and I will, and I know that. But it is something that I love to do, so that's why I do it. And then recently, Tyler and I have broken up, and it has caused me a lot of hate, especially at school and with my family, because no one knows why. And I really don't know why either, because I had never wanted to hurt him. I had never wanted to hurt anyone, but I did. And it is because I need time for myself to know who I am, because I don't. And I have gone through so much in just a matter of 2 or 3 years. I have gone through so much, and it has impacted me in such a negative way. Not everything has been negative, but things have impacted me in such a negative way that I have lost myself, as cliche as it sounds. I have lost myself, and I don't know what I'm here for. And I needed that time to focus on myself, and I still do. So me breaking up with Tyler has nothing to do with anything wrong that he did, and it also has nothing to do with anyone else. There's a lot of rumors going around that I'm trying to get with his best friend, and I'm not. I'm going to homecoming with him because he asked, because we're close friends and we're both going through hard things right now. We both are, and Tyler understands this. Even if it hurts him, he understands this. And so many lies have been told, and it feels like everything that I love is being stripped away from me because of something that I need for myself. It has caused family conflicts. It has caused me to just go downhill, and I'm trying to stay strong because I know that none of this matters, and it won't in the future. But right now it is something that is really, really difficult for me, because there's so many false accusations being said about me, and I don't want pity for this. I do not. I'm just trying to let you know what's actually happening, because my anxiety has caused so much breakage to me and who I am, and I am trying to figure out who I am again. And that is why I had to break up with Tyler. It is nothing he did. It is nothing anyone else had did, but has done, but myself. Because my anxiety is tearing me apart, and my depression is tearing me apart, and I am not who I used to be. And it's something that I'm working on. And this doesn't mean that every video I make is gonna be like this. I'm still gonna make my usual videos that I love to make, and I'm still gonna be strong, and I'm still I'm still gonna do what I need to do to make others happy and to make myself happy. But it is just time that I need to focus on myself. And I don't know how else to explain it, and I know that no one is really gonna understand, and that's okay. Because if you understand, that means you have to go through something related to what I go through, and I don't want anyone to feel how I feel right now. No one deserves that, even if I have been accused of doing who knows. Even if people have hated on me for anything that I've done, even if people have spread things that aren't true about me, even if people have said hurtful things to me, I do not wish any of these emotions on anyone. And I am getting better. I am still on my medication. I am trying to work on myself as a person, physically and mentally specifically. I am trying to grow myself to the person that I want to be in the future. And I'm sorry if it feels like I am not caring for other people, because I do. It's just time that I need to focus on myself, because this is really, really difficult for me. And I want you guys to at least try to understand that. Even if you don't know me personally, or you do know me personally, I haven't said every little thing that has shaped me in my anxiety and my depression. But I am trying to help you guys understand what I am going through right now, and that I haven't done anything to purposely hurt people. And I know I am hurting people right now, and I'm sorry about that. But this is time that I need for myself to find myself before I do something that I regret and that would really hurt other people. So that is what I'm working on. And again, I don't want pity for this. I don't want you to think I'm crazy, because I'm not. I'm just going through a lot with my mental illnesses right now. To anyone with anxiety or depression or any other mental illness that has hurt you or is currently hurting you, just know that you are not alone. You are not going through any of this alone. And it might feel like it, and it probably does. But you're not going through it alone. I am here to talk if you need to. I'm still open to help other people, because this is something that is very, very serious and can harm other people and can harm yourself. But not all my videos are going to be like this. I just wanted to explain to you what is happening with me right now, and my intentions are not to hurt other people. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope I have cleared things up even a little bit to you guys, because you deserve it. And I hope you have an amazing week, and I will be back soon with a new video.